You're watching ABC 7 News at 4, starting with First Alert Weather.
Good afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Thanks for joining us here at ABC 7 First News at 4. We are looking at a pretty quiet day along the coastline. Some big storms firing up inland and near Charlotte Harbor right now, where there's a special advisory there. KCK webcam showing fairly calm conditions out there on the Gulf of Mexico. Not a whole lot going on there. Just a little bit of wave action. Seas running less than 2 feet. And we've had that steady west wind this afternoon, and that has brought the humidity up along with the temperature. Temperature right now feels like 100, actually it was 102, now it's 99. So it's gone down just a little bit. 88 degrees our current temperature at the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport, and that wind out of the southwest at 11. You can see from the radar picture and review over the past hour or so, quite a bit of activity inland areas as expected. And those are firing off some big lightning storms now into Northport, Punta Gorda, near Port Charlotte, and stretching off toward Mayaca City. Punta Gorda now getting the heaviest rainfall, and you can see some of that activity spreading into Northport right now. Not much near Englewood, Venice, or Rotunda. It should stay to the east of you there. And you can see all the activity well east of Lakewood Ranch, pushing off to the northeast at 5 to 10, just to the east of Parrish. We're not going to see much here near the coast, but what we will see is the possibility of, again, late night storms and early morning showers and thunderstorms. Well, much more on that coming up in a few minutes. Jacqueline, Scott?
All right, Bob, thank you so much. First at 4, breaking news. Florida State House candidate Melissa Howard telling ABC 7 she is dropping out of the race for the District 73 seat.
That's right. Her decision comes just one day after Howard admitted that she lied about her college degree. ABC 7's Alan Cohn has been communicating with Howard directly today and joins us now with a look at that shakeup. Alan?
Jacqueline and Scott, without a doubt, Melissa Howard did this to herself. Still, Howard was a passionate activist in the Republican Party and for children, and tonight she is expressing her regrets. 24 hours after vowing to stay in her race for the state representative, Howard is out, saying she has come to the realization that the right thing to do is to withdraw and that she made a terrible error in judgment. Last Friday, when confronted with accusations she didn't complete her degree at Miami University of Ohio, Howard produced what turned out to be a phony transcript and diploma. Her consultant called the stories fake news. We now know it wasn't, and tonight at 7, the winner of the GOP primary by default, Tommy Gregory, will join us at the trapezoid. Back to you.
All right, Alan, thank you so much. Sarasota County Sheriff's detectives investigating an apparent murder-suicide. It happened at a home on Crest Hammock Way in East Sarasota. That's in the Hammocks neighborhood.
ABC 7's Jackie Kelly is at the scene and tells us what we know so far this evening. Jackie?
Scott, Jacqueline, we don't know too much about the apparent murder-suicide right now, but a neighbor does tell me that friends of the couple that lived in the house behind me did come over to the house last night to check in with the couple because they were worried after the couple never showed up for dinner plans this past weekend. After the sheriff's department was called, they discovered 2 dead bodies inside the home. They are identified as Richard and Sharon Lepard. The official cause of death from the medical examiner's office has yet to be released, but officers do believe that it was a murder-suicide. Sarasota Sheriff's Office asks anyone who has any information to please reach out to them. Now the Sheriff's Office says they believe that this was an isolated incident and there is no danger to the public. Reporting live in Sarasota, Jackie Kelly, ABC 7, your Suncoast News. Back to you guys.
Jackie, thank you. New at 4, Venice police responding to an armed suicidal man at a home on Capri Isles Boulevard this morning. Police say a man and a woman were having some sort of altercation. Shortly after officers arrived, the man allowed that woman to leave safely, but he barricaded himself inside the home. Police say they were eventually able to take him into custody without further incident. A South Florida county is no longer using 3D printers at public libraries because of concerns they could be used to make guns or other weapons. Broward County Libraries made the decision yesterday after a man was shot outside of the downtown Fort Lauderdale library. The decision also comes amid concerns that instructions to print 3D guns will be made available online. Broward County, of course, also home to Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, where a gunman killed 17 people in February, igniting a national debate on gun safety. Jacqueline joins us now with more on a rescue operation for hundreds of girls in Pennsylvania.
Scott, officials rescued more than 200 teenage rafters who all went missing on a Pennsylvania river yesterday. That area under a flood watch at the time. The girls all range in age from 12 to 16. Crews pulled 46 of them from the water. The others were found farther downstream, some hanging onto trees along the river for safety.
Obviously, they lost their rafts. They all got bunched up. The individuals got stranded on trees, some on additional rafts. So, yeah, there were some empty rafts that made it downriver, but all the people were accounted for at this time.
Well, at least one girl was taken to the hospital, but she was later released. A Utah man is dead after he crashed an airplane into his own home hours after being arrested on allegations of domestic violence. The sound of a crashing plane woke the neighbors of a family in Payson, Utah yesterday morning. 47-year-old Dwayne Yude, a professional pilot, was bailed out of jail for domestic violence. About 2 hours later, he crashed that plane into his home where his wife and son were both inside. Neither of them were injured, but Yude died in that crash. Right now, rescue crews are on the site of a deadly highway bridge collapse in northern Italy. At least 25 people killed, 16 others injured in that collapse. An Italian news agency reports that there were several crushed vehicles underneath the rubble with bodies inside. Rescuers say so far 2 people have been pulled out alive. Authorities say a violent storm caused that collapse. The Morandi Bridge is a major thoroughfare linking central Genoa with the airport in towns along the coast just west of the city. Well, the majority of Americans want Special Counsel Robert Mueller to finish his investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election. And they want it done before voters go to the poll to elect new congressional leaders this November. That's all according to a new CNN poll, which also found a growing share of voters say that investigation will impact their ballot. 30% of the people surveyed say the probe will be extremely important to their vote. Both President Trump and Mueller are seeing a rebound in approval ratings for their handling of this ongoing investigation. Well, let's send it back to Scott with a health concern in a county just north of the Suncoast.
Jacqueline, a child is diagnosed with the measles in Pinellas County. Health officials say the child had not been vaccinated, and they say they're now trying to alert other people who may have been exposed. There's no word yet on how the child contracted the virus, but measles is easily spread through the air when the infected breathe, cough, or sneeze. The first symptoms are usually a high fever, cough, or runny nose. New at 4, the city of Sarasota is shutting down a public pool because of red tide. Just about an hour ago, the city tweeting that Lido Pool will be closed tomorrow and Thursday. City officials say the closure is necessary because of odor and poor air quality from our red tide outbreak. The city plans to reevaluate those conditions on Thursday. The Lido Pavilion and concessions at the beach will also be closed through at least Thursday. Still ahead, the NAACP asking for an investigation into Manatee County school administrators over discrimination concerns. Plus, key conversations every parent should have with their college-bound children. And a homeowner's security camera in California was set up to watch the devastation of a wildfire, but saw something else instead.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs As Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
I heard about the Dotole Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotole Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Dotole Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
According to Golf Digest, 2 of the nation's top golf resorts are on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, the Auburn Opelika Marriott at Grand National, and the Renaissance Ross Bridge Golf Resort and Spa in Birmingham. Plus, the Marriott at Grand National was recognized as Hotel of the Year by Marriott International. Experience luxury and world-class golf Southern style. Visit rtjgolf/resorts or call 800-949-4444 to book your trip to the trail.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system could make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now, SoClean.com has released the world's first automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer, risk-free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
The SoClean works, and it's a really effective product, and I couldn't believe how easy it was to use.
SoClean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks, destroying CPAP germs and bacteria without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and walk away. Voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited-time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398, or visit SoClean.com today.
The NAACP is accusing several Manatee County school administrators of discrimination. This evening, they're calling for the district to launch an internal investigation and plan to report the allegations to the state. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick joins us live at the Manatee County School Board office, where the alleged victims are gathering to tell their stories to the school board tonight. Jess?
Scott, there are at least 5 current and former Manatee County Schools employees that say that they've been discriminated against. So tonight at the Manatee County School Board meeting, they are going to demand an internal investigation be launched. Rodney Jones, president of the NAACP, says the discrimination has been going on for years, but now people are finally willing to come forward and stand up to district administrators. Jones describes those complaints and says they include everything from black employees being denied a promotion that they felt they were qualified for, with a white person with less qualifications getting the job, to being pushed out and losing their jobs after filing any kind of complaint. Jones says the NAACP has a strong case with plenty of documentation and witness testimony.
It's going to be widespread, not only HR department, but we've got some questions for the current superintendent of schools from when she was deputy superintendent. We think there was some behavior there that may be called into question, and we're going to call it.
The school board meeting starts at 5:45 tonight. That's when some of those alleged victims plan to stand up and share their stories. I did reach out to the district today for comment. They said they knew nothing about these discriminatory complaints, but they will obviously learn about them in just a few hours from now. Now, coming up at 6 o'clock, I'll share one woman's story who says she's a victim of this discrimination. For now, reporting live in Manatee County, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Jess, thank you so much. We'll look for your story tonight at 6. Well, Jacqueline's in the newsroom now with a look at what's trending today.
Scott, one video that's being shared right now shows people racing to evacuate an animal shelter that's in the path of a California wildfire.
Get in. That's a good dog. That's a good boy. Come on.
Take a look at this video the SPCA of Solano County posted to Facebook. The shelter in Vacaville was warned they were in the direct path of the Nelson fire. On very short notice, employees and police worked quickly to clear that animal shelter. All 60 animals made it out safe and were relocated to foster homes. The SPCA later said their building appeared to be undamaged by that fire. So a bear walks into a liquor store. While it's not a joke, it actually happened at a business in Bristol, Connecticut. Cameras were rolling when the surprise guest showed up at Crazy Bruce's Discount Liquors. Employees quickly locked that bear out, but moments later a customer walks in, seemingly oblivious to that wild animal in the store's entryway. Eventually, the bear did leave without buying any alcohol. He also already had hair on his chest anyway. We'll take a look at this drone video from a volunteer fire department showing a pile of mulch glowing orange. Firefighters in Harris County, Texas say this mulch fire could burn for several more days. They say no one was in the area when that fire started last night. It's believed that mulch pile spontaneously combusted, which is not uncommon. The fire then spread to nearby pieces of equipment used at that company, and the cause of that fire is under investigation. Let's send it back to Scott in the studio for a look at some money-saving tips for college students.
Well, Jacqueline, it's move-in month for students across the country, and millions are starting college for the first time, meaning that finances could be a big struggle in the months ahead. So credit cards, student loans, and debt are major challenges for some college students. Parents can help them avoid financial trouble by having some key conversations with them. First, financial experts recommend talking to them about figuring out where they can make cuts, budget. Secondly, experts say teach them how to invest money early and also emphasize the importance of managing student loans and controlling their credit use. Lastly, learn how to negotiate early so it can translate to future financial success. Well, help is on the way for Papa John's franchises that have been hurt by the controversy surrounding the company's founder. Some say they've seen revenues cut in half since John Schnatter admitted using a racial slur during a conference call. The company says it will spend up to $50 million to rebrand and help out those struggling local shops. Also in for changes, McDonald's, the fast food giant, says over the next 2 years it will put hundreds of millions of dollars into overhauling restaurants. Some of the changes include revamped decor, more self-order kiosks, and remodeled counters that will allow for table service in some locations. If you've ever taken a ride in an Uber vehicle, maybe you felt like you were going the long way around, well, you're not alone. The Wall Street Journal says some Uber drivers have been trying to boost their pay by taking longer routes, but they point out since customers just pay up front, it's the company that's eating the extra cost and not the rider. Let's get a check on our first alert forecast now with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Thanks, Scott. Driving not a problem along the Sun Coast right now if you're west of I-75, but unless you're in Northport, right now some heavy rainfall down into Port Charlotte as well as Charlotte County. And Lakewood Ranch webcam looking off to the east there, you can see skies were partly cloudy to cloudy at times throughout the day today, and for the most part the clouds appear to be moving from the south to the north, and now there's a big push toward the east as a result of that west coast sea breeze really firing up. High pressure on the move now. It's moving to the north. It will park itself over north central Florida. Beginning on Wednesday, that returns to an east to southeasterly wind, but also on that wind will be some drier air that will filter in. We'll show you that on the water vapor loop in just a minute, but the heaviest weather by far today is down along Charlotte Harbor, stretching off through Northport, Punta Gorda, and Port Charlotte, all the way along the border there of Sarasota and DeSoto County. That rain is heavy at times too. We're talking rainfall rates up to 3 inches an hour, causing hazardous driving conditions all along I-75. Another storm has popped up on the gust front from this storm. It's actually produced this storm that you see there along I-75 near Jacaranda, but a tremendous amount of lightning occurring near Northport as well. Notice the general motion. This one's trying to get to the coast, but still that sea breeze is kind of holding it off and fueling the storm with that warm, moist air moving into it and providing plenty of energy. There was a special marine warning for Charlotte Harbor that has since expired, and right now there are no severe weather watches or warnings for our area right now. And we'll look for a few coastal showers to pop up here and there. Also keeping an eye on this as a result of the outflow boundary. It's going to try to send one out here toward the Gulf of Mexico. I do believe we could see some other cells developing west of I-75 as we move through time for this evening. Now, as far as the forecast goes, we are anticipating showers and storms scattered about inland areas mainly, and then tonight, say after midnight, there's a chance we could see some scattered cells popping up here and there, although this model is not depicting it. We did see some last night, and the model did not depict it, so I still expect to see a few scattered storms along the coast this evening. But generally, fair skies expected. And then notice the motion of these clouds and showers off to the north-northwest. That's the beginning of that shift of high pressure. One's building in from the east, another one's just going to, at the surface, park itself over north-central Florida. Real dry day for the most part on Thursday. We're going to get rid of those morning showers along the coastline as well as those wind shifts change a little bit. And we'll start to see more of a south to southeasterly wind. That's a little bit better for the red tide. We could really use a big east wind to blow everything out of here. I mentioned that dry air in place. It's well to the Bahamas now, but it will eventually entrain in as that high pressure shifts to the north. We get more southeasterly wind flow. Well, the tropics have been quiet as of late. But things will start to act up here pretty quickly, I think, late in August and September. This is a system that's trying to become tropical, but not going to have much of a chance. 40% chance of getting a name, but for the most part, no concern at all. Temperatures upper 80s to low 90s right now, and it's 88 in Miami, 91 in Orlando. Well, currently at the airport, it's feeling like 99 degrees across most areas, except if you're in Northport, Port Charlotte, or Punta Gorda, where it's cooled down significantly. Seas running less than 2 feet with a light chop out there. We'll have southeast winds switching around to the southwest. Here's the extended forecast then. 40% chance for mainly inland storms tomorrow afternoon and evening. There's a slight chance for a few coastal showers to start things off, and then not much of a chance as we take it through Saturday, Sunday, even just a 30% chance for a few late day storms. As we enter into the peak of the hurricane season coming up in a couple of weeks, you want to have your ABC7 weather app. That's right, First Alert weather app. Download that if you haven't done so already and set your alerts. I know I just got, again, my phone, my alerts kind of changed, and I was getting one for heavy rain, so I turned that one off. And I just want to see the warnings as far as severe thunderstorms go and tornadoes. And you can actually use those watches and warnings and customize your phone to what you want to be alerted to.
Right.
Nice.
Maybe it's a lightning.
Right.
They'll do that
Absolutely.
too. Yeah. Well, one of the last things a California homeowner did before evacuating was aim one of his security cameras at the approaching wildfire. He thought he was going to watch flames eventually burn his house down, but he watched firefighters save it instead. Frank Grasso watched flames from the holy fire melt his fence and then race toward his Corona home.
Just before he was evacuated last Thursday, Grasso pointed one of his cameras toward the canyon to keep an eye on his home. Then the real surprise happened.
Your house is safe. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, are you guys doing okay wherever you're at? Yeah, we're over here at my aunt's house in Irvine. We're okay.
That's pretty nice. A 51-year-old man is being charged with purposely setting the blaze that became known as the Holy Fire.
Yeah, that's a nice story to see. Thank you so much, Bob. Still to come in your Suncoast News, a 300-year-old cannon found off Florida's east coast that could be holding some treasure.
I'm Stephanie Roberts from Suncoast View. Coming up Wednesday morning live at 9. New York City jazz band The Swingaroos are back in town. We're going to send Linda to Florida Studio Theater to experience them right on stage. That's coming up Wednesday morning. We'll see you at 9.
The Players Center invites you to explore the family dynamic in the classic story of On Golden Pond. The Tony Award-winning play opening August 9th is funny, thoughtful, and brutally honest. Call the Players at 365-2494 or visit us online at theplayers.org. On Golden Pond is calling you.
Another pair of satisfied emotions. Looks to me like elation and maybe some amazement. It's part of the Honda Summer Spectacular Event experience. You could say satisfaction comes standard here, just like the Honda Accord comes standard with a luxurious, roomy interior. All at the Honda Summer Spectacular Event.
We see it all the time.
Visit your local Honda dealer and test drive the Honda Accord, 2018's North American Car of the Year.
More energy?
Patty, what would you do if you had more energy?
Gosh. More energy? I'd probably be a happier guy. I wouldn't be so surly.
I'd exercise more. I'd have a lot more fun.
Salsa dancing.
You get a lot more done during the day. Take piano lessons.
I can be better to other people.
Energy equals happiness.
The potential for greater energy is already inside of you. Now you can make the most of it with Super Beets from Human.
What is this? Is it a superfood?
Concentrated beet crystals.
It's non-GMO, which makes me super happy.
It passes the test. A+.
It starts with one of the healthiest vegetables for your heart, beets.
They're in here and I can just drink them.
Beets, probably the worst vegetable in the world.
I love beets.
Super Beets concentrates an essential nutrient found in beets to promote heart-healthy energy.
It's really yummy.
Shockingly not bad. Well, that's good.
3 beets in here? Oh my gosh.
Super Beets helps increase circulation, supports healthy blood pressure, and gets more oxygen flowing throughout your body naturally, which means more healthy energy to make the most of your day.
Dance more often, maybe.
Find out how to get a free canister with your first order, plus bonus gifts.
Call 1-800-201-6681 or go to buysuperbeets.com.
I could definitely use a little more energy, especially if it's from a natural source like beets.
That even tastes good.
I'll finish this, by the way. I really like it.
Call now and find out how to get a free canister with your first order, plus free indicator strips that show how it's working. This offer isn't in stores, but we'll ship it free right to your door.
Feel strong and you feel healthy and you feel like you can accomplish anything.
Find your energy.
Call 1-800-201-6681 or go to buysuperbeets.com.
I would for sure drink this.
Super Beets from Human.
In First Alert Traffic, there's a crash in Northport to let you know about. Right now, police are on the scene of that crash near North Chamberlain Boulevard and Hamilton Avenue that involves an overturned vehicle. Police say Chamberlain now is shut down and traffic is being detoured around that area. A pirate's cannon from a Spanish fleet was brought to land yesterday near Fort Pierce. It was recovered from a shipwreck that experts say was part of a sunken Spanish fleet. The fleet went down in a hurricane way back in 1715 while carrying treasure headed for Spain, which means the cannon had been sitting on the ocean floor for more than 3 centuries. The group that raised the cannon owns the rights to that shipwreck and says it might have been carrying a treasure of silver coins.
Trying to put the clues together. It's a 300-plus-year-old mystery as to how the ship came apart and where it scattered. It was a tremendous hurricane, probably a Category 3 or Category 4. The Spanish estimated the seas at 20 to 25 feet. So when they hit the reefs, they literally exploded and scattered for miles.
Well, this is the first Spanish cannon found off Fort Pierce coast in 30 years, and divers found it in only 20 feet of water. I don't know how it stayed hidden that long. Let's get back to Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a final look at our forecast this evening. Bob?
Yeah, that's always fascinating, those treasure finds here, and in 20 feet of water. That is amazing. They haven't found it until now. 99, that's what it feels like right now. It's hot out there. Southwest winds at 11, unfortunately bringing all the red tide effects and the impacts toward the coast, whatever is out there right now. And a lot of rain is out there into central Florida and into Northport and near Port Charlotte and Punta Gorda, getting hammered now with some heavy rainfall stretching off toward Mayaca City. All of it pretty much inland, not along the coastline right now, although we'll watch the outflow boundaries from this particular cell, which is rather intense. It could generate some other storms closer to the coast here in the next half hour or so. We'll keep an eye on that for you. A lot of lightning occurring near Port Charlotte and Northport, and we're down to street level we go, right on Toledo Blade Boulevard. That's where the heaviest rainfall is now occurring, stretching off toward Northport and along US 41. That moving to the north with a little drift to the west, but not having much success due to that west coast sea breeze that has developed elsewhere. Things in Manatee County moving to the east of Parrish, but there's an outflow boundary right there, which could generate some storms. Well, more coming up at 5. Scott?
All right, thanks for joining us at 4. And again, we'll see you in 30 minutes.